Yo, what's good guys, VENM Fire here back with another video, and today we're going to be bringing you guys another one-play touchdown that beats every coverage in Madden 22. The play we're talking about today is going to be out of the New England Patriots offensive playbook and the gun trips tight end formation. The play I'm talking about is going to be Pat's Y in on the left-hand side, which you cannot see, but now you can see. Pat's Y in there on the left side. Very good play. And we're going to show you guys how to manipulate coverages relatively easily to open this up against cover 3, cover 2, and cover 4. Obviously, will be pretty good against man coverage as well, although not necessarily a one-play touchdown. It just depends on what your opponent's doing, really. But definitely beats all 3 of those zone coverages. And the only thing I recommend is get your fastest receiver out here. Someone who's a good route runner. If you have like deep out elite, that could help as well. On Jamar Chase, route tech obviously helps. And then preferably have a QB with high throw power, high escapability to get out of the pocket, buy yourself some time, and launch that rock down the field. But yeah, man, Pat's Y in. If your playbook does not have that, you can actually hot route master this setup. So if you do have a wide receiver apprentice, you can put him on the outside, put him on a deep post, and then basically set up the same thing. So let's go ahead, jump straight into it. Now the first coverage that we're going to go ahead and beat is going to be cover 3. We'll show how to do that. And the nice thing about this is the same exact offensive setup beats cover 3, cover 2, and cover 4. You don't have to change up anything. The same coverage will beat the same setup will beat every single coverage. Unlike some of the ones that I've shown in the past where you might have to switch up things depending if it's cover 4. But this one, he could be bluffing you completely and it would not matter because the setup should still work. So what you're going to do first, go ahead, streak your slot receiver. In this case, it's going to be Tyler Boyd, that inside receiver. And then you're going to put T. Higgins here on a slant, and that's all you're going to do. I like to max protect. You could go ahead and do other routes, but you do want a lot of times because it does take Jamar Chase some time to get down the field. But yeah, man, you can do different things with your blockers. You can try and like chop block by sliding to the left, double teaming that guy, and then IDing him, and then hopefully Joe Mixon's going to chop block right here, which he does do a good job of. We are on the scramble, but you see we were able to get the ball out and complete that to Jamar Chase. Realistically, you throw it probably a second, half second later than that, get a little bit more space, a little bit more breathing room for yourself, but that was not terrible timing there, and you see we were able to complete it and, of course, take that to the house for a touchdown. If you don't want to go with the chop block, depending on the angles, who knows what happens. That DN does kind of take a weird angle in this nickel 2-4-5 that we are in. I think it's just 2-4-5, maybe it's 3-3-5 Sam, but he does kind of take a weird angle. So if you want, you can straight up double team, hope that your blocks hold up, and then you can kind of roll out. You don't have to throw it on the run, but just to see that you definitely could do it if you were forced to throw it on the run. Preferably, you just get your feet set. It's only going to help your accuracy numbers. But let's actually go into the explanation of why this works. Why is this opening up? Now immediately on this left hand side, what the streak is going to do is manipulate this inside third, which is very important. Logan Ryan here chilling. You notice how if we did not have a streak, and I'll actually show this next play, he would go straight to the middle of the field, really the middle of the field, maybe even further over to the right because of the hash mark that we're in, but somewhere around the middle. You notice how because we have a streak, he is almost in the middle of that left inside hash mark and the numbers. And that is going to allow you to really pass lead this to the right and have around 5 yards of separation, maybe even more than 5 yards separation, and simply take that to the crib. I actually forgot to show what this right outside third does, but take a look at James Bradbury over here, very high overall corner, very good cornerback. You notice how all we have is a slant. We don't have a corner route. We don't have a wheel route. All we have is a slant route, and you notice how that actually pulls him down. And I believe rolling out even pulls him down additional yardage, although it wouldn't really matter. It doesn't matter if he's sitting here because you can still throw that over the top. But so much space, and the slant really does a nice job at doing that. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. Let's go with Tyler Boyd on a little out route instead of a streak. What does the play look like? Now you see Logan Ryan. He's in the middle of the field now, and you still can actually complete it, but look how tight that is. I wouldn't catch it like that, but you see 1-2 yard separation. Again, gunslinger might help, more throw power might help. Maybe a better pass lead than I did there, but for the most part, you notice that it is tighter and the streak does make a difference. Again, I think this setup could also work if we were to go with something like this. We'll actually see. It takes a while for it to develop, so it still does work, but the corner is just a little bit closer. So I don't really see the reasoning to do that. You might as well just get your added protection. And again, it's going to be difficult for him to use your Jamar Chase deep down the field as well. Now, maybe if you hit him with this once, maybe even twice, then he's going to start adjusting to it by maybe deep half and you're doing something like that. But overall, shouldn't catch on too quick. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop into our cover 2 next. Just going to be a basic Tampa 2 that we hop into out of this. And it is 2-4-5, so I was correct on that. Regular Tampa 2 on the left there. And we're going to set up the exact same way as I mentioned earlier in the video. Streak Y, slant B. If you want, you can cut block. We don't really need to, but we're just going to roll out. And you do kind of want to wait a little bit on this one as well. You don't throw it earlier necessarily, but you can just pass it that deep over the top. And you see the deep half is just going to be too far down to where I could really throw that at any time because the deep half on the left is going to be occupied. So you definitely could throw that really at any time you wanted, and it would be an easy pitch and catch. You can pass it up, you can pass it to the right, should not matter. And again, it's probably the easiest coverage to beat out of cover 3 and cover 4 in this. Definitely the easiest one to beat in my opinion. Again, you can if you're forced to get rid of the ball earlier, I would probably pass it up. If you have more time, maybe you can pass it outside, but you should be able to throw this one a little bit earlier. Now you still do need a little bit of time, so if you're forced to, okay, we have to scramble out of the pocket here, you can scramble out, you can pass lead, you don't even have to pass it anywhere, but you see we have a ton of space. Burrow, not necessarily going to be able to hit that throw in regs. He doesn't have the best rating, although he should have a good throw on the run rating because he makes really nice throws on the run in real life. One of the best parts about his game. But you roll out, now we get that perfect accuracy. And again, I would probably pass lead to the right, maybe like diagonal to the right, towards kind of going up and to the right. But yeah, don't do too much. We're going to have one more time, then we'll hop into the replay, some more explanation. And again, you could throw this from the pocket if you had to, but this is a regular bullet pass, no pass lead, and you see the safety is a little bit closer than you would like. He's not going to make a play on the ball, but he is still decently close to where, let's just pass lead to the outside, in that case, to the right. But we're going to start out streak, take a look at your safety, Logan Ryan, pulled all the way over. Without this, he would probably most likely be around the same area. He's not going to go further to the middle as much because he is a deep half, not in the third, but I mean, you could throw the ball to Jamar Chase here easily. I mean, easy touchdown. Throw it right here, easy touchdown. And then, of course, just the later you throw will make it more of a touchdown. If you were to throw it here, you're getting tackled, most likely. So you can throw it later, complete it. Now we did get tackled there, but that was because we did not pass lead to the outside. Take a look at this right side. The guy we're manipulating is going to be Xavier McKinney, I want to say, is the strong safety in this particular play, which, is that McKinney? It is. So Xavier McKinney's the guy we're manipulating here. Straight drop back. Boom. We got a slant over here. Now, even if he didn't get pulled down, we could still just pass that up and split the halves. But not only does that happen, but the slant also kind of pulls him down to where we can just literally throw this normal. We have enough space to pass it to the outside. And really nice job by T. Higgins there, just sitting there. And again, a lot of times the user, you might see this and just be a little bit confused, and all you need in Madden 22 is a little bit of hesitation with how slow the user movement is, and you are off to the races. Now here, Chase actually gets bumped, and I threw that foolishly on the run, but really the only thing that might stop this is getting bumped at the line of scrimmage. Not ideal. Nobody wants to get bumped. It can happen, though, so watch out. And I guess he's getting bumped every single time. I didn't notice that, but here we're just going to pass it to the outside. Pretty simple. And look at all that green grass we have in front of us. Really, really easy. And just overall simple play design. Let's go ahead, hop into our next defense, which is going to be cover 4 drop. Now, against match coverage does play this particular setup pretty well, if I'm not mistaken. With one of the quarters just matching onto the post route. But if they are running something like cover 4 drop out of the 3-3-5 odd, this will certainly work, and it'll work in the exact same way. Now, it's basically going to be similar to cover 2, if I'm not mistaken. And pretty much what you'll see is just kind of you bombing it over the top. Now, I threw that a little bit late, but you see we did have kind of the same look. But again, just a tighter window. This is where having something like set feet lead can definitely come in handy. I'm not sure what abilities you guys are using these days. I am not using Escape Artist. I'm just using my QB speed, and I think the faster throwing is more important. You could, of course, use both, but I like to have ADP on my offensive line, on some of my wide receivers, so that's what I'm doing. Of course, you can't blame anybody for going the escape artist route. Definitely not, but I'm just letting you know what I am personally doing. So just going to step up in the pocket here, bomb that over the top, and that is what it looks like when you run it to perfection. Perfect throw from the pocket, and a perfect pass lead, perfect timing to where the post does not stop running his route. You saw in the thing on that first one, the post kind of stopped running his route, I want to say. But perfect execution. Now again, the slant in this case is kind of pulling those zones off to the right. It keeps them down. It's not necessarily pulling them down, but it just keeps them at bay. It doesn't allow them to go up further. And I don't even know if you would need the slant for this to work, but you see McKinney's just kind of frozen there, sitting there. And then you're able to like pass this to the right side, have enough space to where he's not going to be able to make a play from there, and perfect completion. Again, slinger, set feet lead, help on these, but I'm showing that you can complete these passes without escape artist and without any throwing ability. So just imagine what your boy Derrick Henry could do with his high throw power and his high speed and his quicker release. So again, sit in the pocket. We can also roll out on this one, pass lead over now. It does seem like it's a little bit deeper when you throw it. We're getting a little bit more out of ranges, so probably just going to sit in the pocket. And again, if he's containing, which this play does have contains, you see the adjustment we're doing, sitting in the pocket. We're waiting for either of the contains to stop, and then we roll out, or we just sit in the pocket perfectly content. And this is with the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line, ladies and gentlemen. Cincinnati Bengals, definitely not probably a bottom 5 offensive line unit, so definitely holding up. Now we're facing the Giants, so that's not super surprising. But definitely probably sitting in the pocket. You get one of the post up in the middle. If they're setting a 3-man contain, this is what you can do against it. And again, timing is very important because we throw it a little bit late there. The post stops running his route. Thankfully, we were able to ag him, but that's not what you want to be doing. Although it does work a very high percentage in this year's game because it's Madden 22. But yeah, man, you step up in the pocket, try to get good timing again here, passing to the right. Maybe threw it a little bit earlier there, but you should have enough room for error there to be able to complete it. Now let's hop into a quick little zero rush. I'm going to go to his cover zero and kind of show what these routes look like against man coverage. So let's get straight into that. Now the cover zero, it's interesting. Of course, if they have like man coverage plus deep halves, it's pretty tough. It can still work because similar to cover 2, you still can pull over that deep half, but I'll just show it against true man-to-man coverage. Let's go pinch zero here. And this is going to be where, of course, you're going to max protect, but Jamar Chase, we're just going to try and open him up there. We're facing heavy pressure, but against man coverage. And again, you're going to need a lot of time. This is where escape artist and maybe rolling out is a better idea than zone. Hopefully we can get our blocks to hold up. Snap the ball. We get a little double team over here, which should help. And against man coverage, usually Jamar can fry. He's actually closer. I think that's Dory Jackson there, so he is a very fast cornerback, which does have an effect on the play, but normally your deep post should get open. Now, if he's going with man coverage, and let's say he's just focused on taking away that deep post, some other things you can do. Little baby out route with Joe Mixon. Check it down. He's not going to really expect it, and you see we're picking up probably almost a touchdown. Jamar Chase actually really good blocking, and I guess we take that to the crib, but minimum like a 10-yard gain. If they get a lucky shoestring tackle, maybe he's like a 7-yard gain. But again, this would be a decent play against man coverage. With the tight end, what are you really going to do with him? You can't do too much, so I'll usually just block him, especially if they're blitzing anyway. But of course, you can throw the slant. Slants will beat man coverage as well. But yeah, man, that's going to do the video. If you guys enjoyed, want more of this, drop a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel down below for more videos. Let me know what you want to see, and peace. I'm out of here.